I just sent you the information a little while ago. Were you able to look at it?
Which one?
For the let me pull it back up.
Is this on Discord?
Yes.
What's your name on Discord?
Me to send you
Michael
the yes.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Yes. Were you able to look at those numbers?
Let's see. Yeah, I was waiting for you to send me a screenshot. You sent me the whole. Oh, you sent me a PDF. I see what you did. I see what you did. No, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, because it was the same guy that Mercedes was talking to, but it was a different property he had, I guess. And I did the number just like you did, but I didn't know where to put the he wanted the buyer to pay the 3%.
All right, let's put the deal in here so that everybody can see it, since they can't see the screenshot you sent me.
Gotcha.
All right, what's the purchase price?
$245.
Okay, what's the seller finance about?
Oh, let me go back because I did the numbers after we redid the 25%. Let me go back to deal sniper because I still have it up.
All right, no worries.
Okay, it's 245.
Okay.
When we read it in deal snipers, and the seller finance is 228.
Okay.
And the down payment was 17,000.
All right, what'll the rent for?
The rent was 800 monthly rent.
Whoa. That's hold on. Is that the estimated rent or the monthly?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Estimated was 19. I put 2,000 in.
Okay. Was it 19 some change?
It was 1991.
Oh yeah. Okay, perfect. What are the taxes and the insurance?
Taxes and insurance is the tax was 1936.72, and the insurance was 945.
All right, and then you said the monthly payment that Deal Sniper says we should give them is 800.
Correct.
Right. So that's an awesome deal. Now tell me what they want.
Okay, so this guy, he sent it. It was. It was God, I just had it up. As soon as I touched it, it went away. Hey.
Take your time, dude. I'm on here until you guys don't give me no more. I'm still working off this sickness, so it's not like I'm going out tonight.
Okay.
Oh, what's up, Amber?
It was so he did the rebuttal was he wanted 225 asking price, down payment of 5%, monthly payment of 1,600, and a 5-year balloon, and the buyer pay broker commission of 3%.
Okay. All right. So he wants 225 as the purchase price.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then he wants 5% down.
Correct.
Which is actually not bad.
Right.
The only thing I'm gonna tell you right now, the only thing that's gonna kill this deal is that monthly payment he wants.
Yeah, the monthly payment was it killed the deal.
Let's see. I know I would normally do it in my head, but my head hurts. All right, so let's do 11,250. Okay. 213,750. Okay. So if we put in what I mean, obviously the deal is great, but if we put in 16,
no,
yeah, it's a dead deal. So now we need to figure out what's the most we can give him.
So
and then reverse. You said it was 1,100, right?
Yeah, I did it because when you did with Mercedes, I did the same 1,100.
That worked,
and it worked.
All right. So then, what if we do 12? That's not enough monthly.
12 was a little too high, I think.
50. Yeah, 1150 would be about your highest. Here's what I would say to him. How long has the property been on market?
It's 100. Let's see. Been on 101 day.
Okay. So let's get creative.
Okay.
Let's see here. So we want to give him $800 a month, right? And he wants 16.
Yes.
We can give him 11. So that's a difference of $800 times 12 months. That's $9,600 a year. Times, what does he want, a 5-year balloon? That's $48,000. I'm not giving him an extra $48,000 on the top of the purchase price when it's been listed for 101 days. That's way too much. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell him, hey man, I'll split the difference with you. I'll give you $1,000 a month, and I'll come up on the down payment to 15,000. But I'm not going any higher than that. You're gonna have to play hardball because if we were to do that, and this would be 210. That's not right. Okay. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. I didn't even factor in this guy's 3%. That might kill the deal too.
Yeah, it was 67.50 when I put it up on Deal Sniper.
Okay. Okay, so the deal still work. Yeah, okay, it'll still work. Yeah, that's going to be about it.
So 1,100 is the highest, correct?
1150 is your absolute max, but I still want you to get the deal for a price that's going to sell quick. Like the reason why, like a lot of people ask me, Sean, how come you're on your MAO calculator? Why are you at 65% of ARV when most people are doing 75%? Because I want my deals to go quick.
Right.
I want when my investors see my name pop up on one of our deals, it just goes, and that's because it's for a good price. So you can push it to 1150, but if he wants $6,700 for a property that's been on market for 101 days that he couldn't sell, and now he wants us to pay that fee for them, that's already pushing it. But then, I mean, this is what I would do. I would put this in, and I would take a little screenshot of this right here, just this little box.
And I did that, like you said.
What did he say?
Mercedes. He hadn't responded back yet.
All right, then wait for him to respond back, and let's see what he's open to.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now the most I would be comfortable with you doing is about $1,000. But yeah, your max is 1150.
Okay. Okay. And just go up on the down payment of 15 if we have.
I would go up on the down, say, look, man, I can meet you in the middle. I can give you $1,000 a month, and I'll give you $15,000 down instead of 1150 or 1125. And then beyond that's the thing I always say, be honest. Tell them, look, man, my investors need to be able to cash flow, or this thing is going to continue to sit on market for another 101 days. You want to get it sold, or you want to hold out for this ridiculous number? Because no investor is going to give up their cash flow. They're just going to buy a property that actually cash flows, which is why yours hasn't sold.
Gotcha.
Now, granted, my fuse is a little shorter because I still have hospital brain, but clean it up a little bit. But that's the point you want to get to. Like, look, this thing's already been listed for 101 days. Stop looking to gift horse in the mouth. I'm ready to close. What are you trying to do?
Gotcha.
And that's another thing for people who are newer to wholesaling. It's much more feasible for your pipeline in order to have something consistently going. Find deals that fit the mold instead of wasting time trying to make deals fit the mold. Not that you're wasting time. What I mean is if you're trying to hammer this guy for months and months and months and then pass on deals that could be done, don't do that. That's why I tell you guys to hardline quick, because it's call it what it is. You can go back and forth if you want, but I'd rather say, hey, look, this is the most I can do, and here's why. If this works for you, cool. I'm gonna send you some paperwork. If not, good luck.
Gotcha. So the 67.50 for him, that was okay.
Yeah, that's fine. If we can get if you can get him at $1,000 a month, and the down payment at 15,000, you can still give him his 67.50 for putting it on market for 101 days and not selling it.
Okay. Yeah, I just got to go back to my.
But I wouldn't say anything. If you sent him this already, just wait for him to respond. See what he says, because then that'll tell you how reasonable of a person you're dealing with. If you show someone math, like, hey, here's what you asked for, here's what that looks like for my investor, what the world am I supposed to do with this? And they come back with the I don't care, you're not dealing with a rational person. Move on.
On to the next.
There you go.
Just like the cash deals. They're not talking. What you want is go to the next. I got you. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Thank you.
And then what I would do, though, is put them on a 1 month follow-up, especially if it's still listed. Hey, My investors are still interested at $1,000 a month and $15,000 down at 225. If, you guys are wanting to move forward. And here's the thing: if it's not on market anymore, like the listing expired, then I'm okay with you guys skip tracing the homeowner and calling the seller directly.
Okay.
Don't do it while they're still working with the realtor. Don't bypass
Gotcha.
the filter. But once the listing is expired and they didn't sell it, yeah, that's fair game as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Ricardo, what's up, man?
Hey, Sean, how you doing, boss?
Fantastic. What can I do for you?
Excellent. I think I might have locked in my first deal. So
Okay.
they're ready to move forward. However, in the what do you call it? So we had agreed via email that I was going to put down 19,000, or excuse me, our investor was going to put down 19,000 with a 5-year balloon. And then I had just sent. Can you take a look at the chat?
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, so this is what they basically were just like, they sent that over, like, all right, these are the terms we want. She just made it seem like she was gonna like put in the interest rate, but she upped it $1,000 more. And what else did she put in there? But I guess I just need help trying to get the right numbers so I could email her back and then we can kind of move forward, if that makes sense.
So you sent a deal or some
Right.
terms, and then this was their response?
Yeah, we've been going back and forth for probably some time now, maybe like 2 weeks. And then she's like, yeah, they're ready to move forward. And when I was doing the numbers in the input sheet, I was like, the most we could do is 19,000. And so today she was like, all right, cool. Like, we'll move forward. This is like her first one, really. And so she was like, all right, let's move forward and send me the contract. But this is the interest rate that my client wants. And then, we want 20,000 and all the other stuff. So I basically just want to see if we can still make the deal work. 19,000 was kind of a stretch, to be honest.
That's not the stretch. The stretch is the 8 to 10% interest. So without even, what will this property rent for?
It's gonna rent for $1,389.
So let's just call it 1,400.
Okay.
Okay. And what is the deal sniper number for the rent? What was it supposed to be?
The deal sample for the rent was $1,389.
No. The I'm sorry, not the rent. The monthly payment to the seller.
Originally, hold on a second. Let me just see what I had put in.
Because there's some contradicting things in this offer. Because they're saying they want $1,000 a month in monthly payment, but they're also saying they want an interest rate of 10%. Neither of those two things bump.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So, yeah, and that's another thing, because I had put in $600 for the monthly payment. Deal Sniper says $597, so basically $600.
All right, and what are the taxes and the insurance for this property?
Taxes are yearly $567. Insurance is $756.
Okay, so as it stands right now, the deal looks good. I mean, your entry fee percentage is high, but that's because your
down payment
is so high. The problem is that they want 10% interest. So if I put 10% interest here, that jumps my monthly payment up to $1,562. So if I put $1,562 now as the new payment, if you'll notice the cash on cash return, it kills the deal.
Right.
Now they said 10% or $1,000 a month. If I go to $1,000 a month, that still doesn't work, but it's better than 10%. But in either case, what they're asking for is just way too much.
And I originally told her 600, so I'm like, I'm not even sure where she got that $1,000 from. So
well, that's just their counter offer,
right?
And then this other thing, 8% if good credit report. We're not giving these people, we're not giving anyone, our buyers or investors, credit reports.
Oh yeah, I told her that as well, which I'm not even sure why she didn't put that in the email. But
yeah, but in either case, 8%, 10%, or $1,000 a month, none of those work.
Okay.
It absolutely kills the deal. So what I would do is I would put in, here's your $1,000 right here. Here's the deal. I'd put the deal back in, and much like with the other one, I would send a screenshot and I would hyper focus on this number right here and say, how in the world is my investor supposed to cash flow with $957 a year? And then wait for their response. And then I would also let them know, like, and I'm also very confused on which one you want. Do you want the $1,000 a month, or do you want an 8 to 10% interest rate? Because at an 8 to 10% interest rate, the payment is wildly higher than $1,000 a month. So which one is it? Sounds like they don't 100% understand what the deal is.
So originally, when I was doing the numbers, I think I put in a 3% interest rate, monthly payment of $600.
Well, you put in a 3% interest rate where?
When I initially, when I was doing the numbers, I basically sent her, like, I was like, all right, we could do 3%. We could do $19,000 for down payment, and it was $600 for. I did $600 for that payment, but okay.
Well, you gotta match it up. If you tell them you're gonna give them 3%, then whatever you have to put in the calculator, and whatever that number is your new payment.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So 750, yeah, you're borderline on that one. You can't go too much higher than that. Why did you offer 3% interest in the first place? What made you want to?
Well, she basically was like, yeah, we can do the deal, but they want interest as well. And so when I was doing the numbers, I thought that I know that based off of, well, I didn't want to go like obviously too high. I felt like 3% was a good number, and so I kind of just went with that.
Did you explain to them that they are getting interest? It's just added to the purchase price?
I did not.
I would definitely go through the cheat sheet. I would also go through the quick question guide and memorize those. I don't want you to shoot yourself in the foot.
Okay.
So essentially what's happening is when Deal Sniper or Deal Blaster, whichever one you're using, is giving them an above asking price, what it's doing is it's calculating a 1 to 3% interest rate. And instead of tacking that on monthly, it's figuring out what that's going to be throughout the life of the loan on a typical balloon, and it's adding it to the purchase price. So they're still getting whatever they would have gotten had we charged them monthly interest. They're just getting it on the purchase price. And we do that so that we can keep the monthly payment low so that the investor will be able to cash flow so that they'll be interested in buying the deal. Does that make sense?
Right, that makes sense. Okay. So real quick, what's like the best offer that I could, like, obviously I'll after I explain everything, what's like the best deal that I can get for this? So would I do like a 0% interest rate?
Well, it sounds like, again, she doesn't, or he doesn't, whoever you're talking to, either did a typo or doesn't understand the deal or interest rates or anything like that. I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit. It's just those two ideas bumped, if that's what they actually said. So I would first ask to clarify the message that they sent you. Okay. Say, hey, you sent me a monthly payment of $1,000, and then you also said you want an interest rate of 8 to 10%. But 8 to 10% on this deal is going to yield more than $1,000 monthly payment. So which one were you looking for, the interest rate or the monthly payment? And then you need to get clarification on that first, because depending on what the answer is how you're going to rebut whatever that answer is.
Okay.
But if you want to know just numbers wise what your best deal is,
I know they wanted a high down payment for sure. So if I do like a 0% interest, maybe like a $19,000 or $20,000 down payment.
That's your highest. $775 a month at $20,000 down.
Okay.
On a $198,000 purchase price? Yeah. Because you need to be able, I don't know if you've seen the SOP video or not, but you need to keep your cash on cash return at a minimum. And I mean minimum meaning this is an ugly deal at 10 to 12%. And then your cash flow needs to be a minimum of $300 a month or $3,600 a year. So at $775 a month, that's leaving the investor with just about $308, $307 a month in positive cash flow. So that's the highest you can go.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest with you, the deal is not attractive because your entry fee percentage is so high. Now you
So I
can
need-
combat that by
Mhm.
cutting your assignment fee, which I mean, some money is better than no money.
Right.
That's a little bit better.
Okay. So if I cut it by, 5,000, then this is more attractive to a buyer.
It's going to be more attractive. I mean, you're still at the 10 to 12 and you're at the minimum for cash on cash return. I'm sorry, for cash flow, but your cash on cash return is higher because the entry fee is lower.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is going to make it look better.
Okay.
But at first you need to, I mean, these are just the raw numbers. You need to get clarification. If you want to know what interest rate you need to be at. Nope. 3.25. 3.25 will get you $774.67, which is just about $775. So the highest interest rate that you can actually go is 3.25.
And if they want a 5-year balloon, would I have to check? Would I have to change the? Oh no, I don't change the that number. The 30.
No, you don't have to change any calculations. That's just a line item in the additional term section.
Oh, I see.
You just type it in, balloon length 5 years,
Okay.
and
So
that'll
if I-
absolutely work for a less than $200,000 purchase price.
Okay. So if I can get this deal, then the next step would be to get the contract from inside of the contract sheet and send
Yeah,
it
in Discord.
in Discord. Got it. Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Not a problem, but I want to make sure. Do you understand why the changes that I made? Why I made them?
Yeah. So as far as like the numbers itself, I have to make sure that cash on cash is, you said, what do you call it? Yeah. Can you go back to? Can you go
I'm
back
gonna
to?
put the SOP video in the main chat for you.
Okay.
But yeah, the minimum cash on cash return needs to be 10 to 12%, and your minimum cash flow needs to be $300 a month or $3,600 a year.
Okay. That makes sense.
Otherwise, an investor's, it's not enough money for them to make it. And just so we're all on the same page as to why, a lot of people, they'll just throw out explanations for shit and not tell you what it's for. The reason why is because at, what is it, 8%? No, I'm sorry, at 7% with a T-bill, an investor can take this same amount of money, throw it in a bank on a T-bill and get 7% cash on cash return without having to do vacancy, deal with tenants, repairs, maintenance, CapEx reserves, none of that. So we have to make it better than what they can do just having their money sit around. That's why we need to make sure that it's worth it for them to buy it from us.
All right. That makes sense.
Awesome.
All right.
Hey,
Thank you.
No problem, dude. Anybody else have a question? Shortest trading ever? Seriously?
Yes,
Okay.
no. Hey, first of all, hello, how are you?
Not much better now. I don't like being
Okay.
poked.
Right. I wouldn't either, I'm pretty sure. But I have, if you can run through this HELOC, whatever the heck.
HELOC, home equity line of credit.
HELOC. Okay, so I need to see the example, if we can do that.
Okay, cool. What kind of deal was it before you found out about the HELOC?
I haven't done anything. So this was he's an agent, and I reached out to him for his own listing. That didn't work, and then he's like, well, I have my own property, and then he just told me the information. So I never actually presented any offer to him.
Oh, he's only got a HELOC? Like there's no HELOC plus another mortgage?
Let me tell you what he said.
Yeah, tell me what he said. There's gonna be a couple of different ways.
Let me see. Where is his thingy? Okay. My pleasure. 11. Early. Okay. So no. So yeah, there is a mortgage and then that HELOC.
Oh, gotcha. So it's a first and a second. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And do you have the numbers for both?
Yes.
All right. Let's do that.
Well, what do you need first?
Well,
So the purchase price?
first we're gonna run it as a hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a little creative on this one. I guess maybe I should add another column that's got a. I mean, we're coming up with a couple of seconds. All right, give me the information. What did they originally sell the house for?
Originally it is flipping through windows. 543.
Okay, and then what's the balance of the first mortgage or the mortgage?
225, 105.
Okay, and then what's the balance of the HELOC?
110, 972.
Okay. And then what is the monthly payment for the mortgage?
1454.
Okay, and then what's the monthly payment for the HELOC?
Oh, that part I don't know. Okay.
I need that.
Hmm.
Damn, he took out 110,000. So for those of you that don't know, HELOC is home equity line of credit. Think of it like a credit card attached to your mortgage. So if you don't have a mortgage or whatever, if you do, this guy does, whatever equity you have in your house, let's say it's 20 grand, you can go to the bank and say, hey, I want to borrow 20 grand against my house. And because you have that equity, they'll give it to you. And that's it. It's got an interest rate, just like a credit card. You just pay it back monthly, like a monthly payment.
It may take him a while, so I wish I had that, but I don't. Anybody else? Somebody else drop a question. Hurry up.
Well,
real quick. Take your time.
We can do a mock one real quick. I'll do worst case scenario. I'll do $1,000. Well, 225. If we have the interest rate's gonna be higher. Yeah, I know that. Okay, fine. Yeah, we'll do it that way. All right. So essentially, we're running it just like a first. Forget HELOC. HELOC's the thing that I think is throwing you off. It would be no different than if they just had a first and a second mortgage. That's all a HELOC means. So no different than the solar thing that you did on that one property. No different than a home builder loan on top of their mortgage. All that means is we're going to add this balance and that balance together, and we're going to add that monthly payment and that monthly payment together and see if the cash flows. That's all it is.
Gotcha.
And so basically what we're asking our investor to do is they're going to pay. Let's just do it. Yeah, I know my head hurts too. I'm just going to use my calculator. So I'm going to take 225. I'm just going to take 225 plus 110,000. And I get 335. Okay, so we got a mortgage balance, essentially. Now I'm doing this a little dirty. There should be separate spots for all of this. Basically, I should be cloning this box, putting it and dropping everything down one. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, maybe I'll just have to build one. Shit. And then we'll do the mortgage payment at 2,554. Nope, 24. Well, doesn't matter. And then the seller financed amount. What did you want to give him for a down payment?
I knocked it down, I believe, to like 36.
36,000. Okay. And then for those of you that don't know, if you need to figure out what the seller finance amount is, and this goes for seller finance deals or hybrid deals, you take the amount that they're selling the property for, you subtract the mortgage balance, you subtract the cash to seller or the down payment, and whatever's left would be the seller financed amount. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And then what'll it rent for?
43, but I don't think it's that. So I normally just put like 35, between 32 and 3,500.
Okay, but why are you switching it?
Because I've run into too many instances where it doesn't line up with what's provided.
Did you double check it on like Zillow Rent or Redfin Rent?
I'll use ChatGPT and it gives me a range.
Okay. All right. So 25, 35. That's all. That's gonna be tight.
Well, I mean, based on the results, just put 43 because that's what pops up for the rent. I mean,
You want to split the diff at 4?
yeah, that's probably better.
Okay. I mean, your interview percentage is real good.
And wait, the
Now,
mortgage, I didn't tell you that.
what?
I didn't tell you the mortgage.
You did. You
I'm
told
sorry,
me
the interest
15
rate.
Oh,
Freaking
that's
tired.
what's the interest rate?
2.9.
Oh, okay. Show off.
I just know it's important. That's
The
all.
fuck out of here with that. All right. So even it now, this is giving them nothing. Now remember what we're asking, and this is important because 4,000 works, and then if we can give them, I think 300 should, yeah, okay. So if you could talk them into taking these terms, this works. However, you got to see what that HELOC payment is because I just estimated it at $1,000. Who knows what it is? Because what we're asking the investor to do is they're going to pay that mortgage, then they're going to pay the HELOC payment, then they're going to pay the $300 to the seller, and whatever's left they get to keep. And we're hoping it's about $6,600 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So so far the deal works. Now I did overestimate a little bit because usually HELOC interest rates are pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to find out what that payment is first.
Would you even say that a situation like this would be worth pursuing?
Yeah, absolutely. You need to. There's a couple of things you need to that are kind of up in the air. You need to double check the rent. I would use. Hold on.
So I've tried to use his website, and it pretty much doesn't bring me up anything unless it's been registered.
For home ads?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Oh, I guess I can't pull it up because that won't work. All right. Well, then you got to you got to double check the rent through Zillow Rent. You can try. You know what? Just DM me the address.
I got you.
I'll check it on Renometer. I like to use that one to verify some stuff.
Okay.
And then, did you run it as a short term?
Nope, not yet. Because that first, I mean, I pretty much am just at the point where I just ask you what I need help on, and then everything else I can do myself.
Gotcha. So yeah, the whole difference, the whole situation with the HELOC, it's just a second mortgage. That's all it is. Now, if they didn't have this first mortgage at $225,000 and it was just a HELOC, which is more common, then you treat it like a sub 2, depending on how much they want to sell it for over the HELOC amount. And if they want to sell it for a lot over like in this situation, if his HELOC is 110, but he's selling it for 543, well then yeah, it'd be a hybrid. But you just put the HELOC information here. And then what I'll do is over the weekend, I'll update this, and maybe over here somewhere I'll put another one where there's a spot for a first, second mortgage, and then everything else. Yeah, I'll just do that. It'll be easy.
Now, if I were to go ahead and move forward, like putting this on paper, it would kind of look like the solar panel one.
Yeah. You're basically, so it would, under additional terms, it would be purchasing property subject to current mortgage, first mortgage, 225, yada yada yada. Here's the interest rate, approximate monthly payment, and then HELOC, approximate HELOC balance, interest rate, monthly payment, just like you did on the solar. Basically, you're writing the additional term section is for when you're telling title and escrow what the hell is going on. So if you're saying purchasing this property subject to this stuff, and then you just list what this stuff is, and they'll do the paperwork accordingly.
Okay.
So yeah, just list it out and make sure. What you also want to do is get a copy of the mortgage statement for each one and just attach that when you send it into title and escrow, or your TC will do it if you hire a TC.
Okay. And then I sent you the address.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, how do you tell someone's old as hell?
Not as hell. Maybe just like
I'm talking
the
about me.
OL. Not even. If
I'm
you're the OL, then I'm just the O. Not don't put the D as hell. Like that's too much.
that's okay.
You're not that old.
I don't fight it. I'm 56. I know what I am.
That's young and spry, man. Come on now.
What the hell was I doing just now? Oh,
The address.
something.
Oh, I think you said renometer, rentometer, whatever.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
don't know.
looking at it right now. I got 3,900.
Okay. Okay. Hey, there we go.
And that works. 3,900 work.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, shoot. I mean, I'm pretty sure 3,900 will work, but
No, yeah, that's just 100 off. Oh, we were real close. Good shit.
hybrid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. I mean, I would still go for it. Because you're that close. And here's another thing too. And you guys don't copy this until you get good enough at underwriting deals. That's actually what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I teach you guys to count the closing costs because I want you guys to be able to deliver worst case scenario to the investor. But we're not responsible for the closing costs, nor should we be calculating it in our numbers. So technically, your cash on cash return is 12.25%. So you're good.
Okay, so my
I'd go for it.
question, if I'm like let's say I'm filling out the template, I'm ready to market it. Can I do what you just did?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't do that last time, and I feel like it bit me in the ass.
Not necessarily. Well, hold on a second. Did you put in there that your entry fee was? Hold on. Let me, because I'm going to sit here and try and explain it when it's right in front of me. Did you put entry fee this plus CC, or did you just put entry fee this?
No, I did plus TC CC.
Oh, and that
the same.
It may have because that's already including closing costs.
Bad.
Yeah. So if you put the full number, you don't have to put the plus CC because it's already including closing costs.
I'm very freaking upset because that's very obvious now that you say that. I'm so mad at myself. It's right there. Say again.
How are you supposed to know?
I mean, first of all, common sense, but obviously I'm lacking a couple pennies because this is crazy. I didn't even see it that way. Mind you,
do you think I'm good at my job?
I know you're good at your job. That's why
Do you
I'm still
think I've
here.
made the same fucking mistake? Because I did. That's the only reason why I know to change it. You can't be good at stuff if you don't make mistakes, dude.
Wow, thank you. Oh, hey, yeah, that made me feel better. But damn it. Wow. Okay. Okay. So but yes, your answer is yes. I can eliminate that going forward. Okay.
For anyone, just so you guys don't have to re-download the calculator over and over again, if you do decide to, and I really hope you don't, unless you're just trying to get the numbers. But if you ever want to go in here and all you got to do is delete it. Don't do anything else. Get the information you need, and then just hit undo, and it'll put the formula back. Otherwise, you're going to screw up your calculator. Granted, you can just download a new one, but why go through all that for no reason? Anybody else have any questions?
Yo, Sean.
What's up, dude?
What's up, bro? I had a question.
Go for it.
So when we run the numbers through Deal Machine
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, if it doesn't work as a long-term rental, like let's say it's at like a 2% or 0%, but the short-term rental is at like a 300%, like something like that, like would that still not be a deal?
I mean, that's a deal if your numbers are accurate. If you go over to where's that? If you go to AirDNA or something close to it, and it gives you, a high ass number for your yearly, and then you divide that by 12 to get your monthly, and then you put that here in the short-term rental section, and then you go over here and your cash on cash return is 300%, and you've got these numbers maxed out, and your taxes and insurance and all that shit in there, then yeah, That's a good deal.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because yeah, I've run into some situations like that recently where like I had one today where like the cash on cash was at like a -2, but the STR was at like a 300%.
Oh yeah, then I
So
say go for it.
okay, cool. So I can even just like I can even like go up a little bit, right? Because 300 is like crazy, right?
Well, that depends. What's the cash flow? Like
Okay.
what's the number that's here in this box? Because the hierarchy for when you're looking at things is you want, well, let me go to one that's actually occupied. Okay. The hierarchy is you want to make sure your entry fee percentage is good. You want to make sure your cash on cash return is good. Then you want to make sure your cash flow is hitting the appropriate, and especially with short-term rentals, you can have a really high cash on cash return, but your cash flow is like $200 a month. So what's your cash flow?
Yeah, gotcha.
300.
Um, I don't have it pulled up right now.
I would just
But
double check that and make sure you're at least like $350 a month.
300. All right.
So this number needs to be $3,600 or higher. Call it $4,000 or higher on a short term.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna run the numbers real quick to see
Yeah, if you
what.
want to run them, and then if you need me to double check, I mean, look, it's math. So if it's $4,000 or higher, you're good. But if you want me to double check it, send me a screenshot of the inputs page and whatever corresponding tab it's associated with, and just DM it to me, and I'll take a look at it and be like, yeah, this is good, or hey, no, this you need to change this or this. People
All
do it
right.
all.
Sounds good. Also, I had another question.
Go for it.
For the hybrid,
Mm-hmm.
when you're putting it in deal machine, so you got the inputs, mortgage balance, PITI,
Mm-hmm.
and then seller finance amount.
Mm-hmm.
That's the purchase price minus the mortgage balance.
Minus the down payment.
Okay, okay, yeah, minus the down payment. So purchase price minus mortgage balance minus down payment. That's the seller finance amount.
Whatever's left over will be the seller finance amount, which is just another way
Okay.
of saying that's the amount of equity that we still owe them that we're going to be paying them monthly on. And by
And
we,
if
obviously,
it,
I mean the investor.
all right, cool. And if it says on Deal Sniper that like sniper off target or whatever, like
Um,
is
there's still like tweaking that, which is why I haven't done an updated video on how to use Deal Sniper, because I'm waiting for them to finish. I know the programmer's still doing some things in the back end. I would still run it using the deal machine calculator just in case. I mean, it'll take
okay.
you an extra 60 seconds, but it's better than passing on a potential deal.
Yeah. All right, gotcha. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind then. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else have a question? All right. Then I will let you guys go for the evening. This was recorded, so it will be up on the YouTube channel tomorrow morning by 8 a.m. If you guys have any questions, I will be in the Discord for most of the night tonight. So just go ahead and reach out to me. Otherwise, you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.